Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Forward and Back Again. A Coxtail. I'm JP McDaniel, joined as always by the one and only Jesse Cox, aka Little JC, on Genova,
Yo,
the Primal,
yo.
the Aether, some data. I don't know where we're at. Some data center, Aether, something like that. The FC's always full. I'm still shocked how many people are playing this game, Jesse Cox.
I was on the other day when they had to boot a bunch of people who weren't, I guess, hadn't played in a while, and then immediately,
Dude,
it was like, bing, 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 bing. All these people joined, and everyone was like, welcome. And I was like, whoa, that's a lot of people.
I'm getting asked daily on Twitter, on YouTube comments, and Twitch, like if there's open spots in the FC, and there's not. Like, it's great. The applications are always constantly filled. I have not seen this many people playing in a very long time, but it's good. It's well deserved. I'm glad to see Final Fantasy Final Fantasy 14 doing well, and alongside all of the new adventures, Jesse Cox, we're in Heavensward. We're here. We're hanging out in Ishgard. It's cold.
It is. You can see our little breaths.
We can't. Well, I'm boxing, so I'm. I gotta keep.
You're working up that sweat. I get it. Yeah.
It's cold as hell here. I don't have that jacket.
You have a little hat though.
I do. I have a little Moogle hat.
Most of the heat leaves through your head, so and
Sure.
your shoes and your booties, so you're fine.
Yeah. I've got my. What are these? These were like a big fashion thing once upon a time, right? Clogs? No.
Clogs?
What are these called? These are like a big deal. I don't know what they're called.
Clogs. Hold on.
This is two
Clogs.
mid-30 nerds trying to figure out.
Clogs.
It's like a big fashion thing, isn't it? These type of boots.
Right. Well, I can do fashion. What up?
Oh,
hey,
shit. When did
it's
this
me.
happen? What is this little like purse you got? Oh, that's your weapon.
Oh, that's my Moogle. My side Moogle.
Yeah.
I keep it with me wherever I go.
Yeah. Do you have press X?
Oh, hold on. I'm in a menu.
Oh, okay.
X.
What about Z?
You mean Z?
Oh, there you go. There you go.
Like
Z.
that.
Yeah. Oh, look at that. So pretty.
Yeah, and then I press it and it goes back in his little purse.
Yeah.
My little side purse.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
So the last one of these that we did, you were just getting ready to start, I think like the day prior. You were getting ready to start the big old 2.55 patch.
Yeah.
I guess we should maybe preface this with, if you are worried about spoilers for A Realm Reborn / Heavensward, maybe skip ahead an amount of time. When we kind of change
An amount of
subjects.
time.
Well, here's the
Skip
thing.
ahead an amount of time.
Here's what we'll do. We'll change the scenery when we're done speaking about the story spoilers. We'll go somewhere else.
Oh, okay. Look at that.
Yeah.
So smart.
So you can kind of pan the thumbnail here on YouTube, and when you see a different location, that's when we've moved on from the stories.
That's why you make the big bucks.
Maybe the mediocre bucks. So I forgot, honestly. It's been so long. Some of the stuff that you said during the last episode came true. Oh my God, who is this?
Well, that's Nurse Joy.
Oh my God.
Obviously.
Oh, she's fighting me. Get off me.
Yeah.
This is my box.
Fight.
I guess we'll just fight here. I guess we'll just fight here. Yeah, some of the stuff that you said came true. Some of the stuff you said did not come true whatsoever. I guess let's talk about it. Yeah, let's jump straight into. Did you think? What was the biggest surprise? Let's go with that. What was the biggest surprise?
The biggest surprise to me was the very last scene of A Realm Reborn. The very, very last one. I'm not sure how many people remember that, but it involves a character I did not expect showing up to have a conversation with the Ascians, and I was like, what?
Yeah.
That's the only thing that got me. Everything else, I was like, all right, okay. And any potential deaths, I was like, no, ain't even happening. I don't believe that for a minute. I still don't quite know whether Nanamo is alive or dead.
Okay, that was the.
I don't know. I have no clue.
I don't know where you're currently at, so I don't know where to probe you on different things.
Well, so currently in the story, I just was sent to, I don't know the name of the zone, the place where the Dravanians are. I was sent to the Chocobo Forest, which is, I think, Zone 3.
Oh, so you did the first dungeon?
Yes, I did the first dungeon, and more importantly, I had that mission where I went to go rescue Rahoban, which was dope. That was so much fun.
Right. I forgot about that. I forgot all about that.
Yeah, that was great. I loved that. It was like a really well done, go save the person mission that had a lot of, like, there was tension in it that I wasn't expecting, mostly because of poison, slow dot damage.
Sure.
But yeah, I loved that, and I was ready to go. Look, I was ready to go kick Ilberd's ass. I was so excited. But like all douchebaggy villains, they did their star scream and were like, "I'll get you next time," and like ran away.
Yeah.
So whatever, I'll get them.
You'll get them.
Yeah, that was neat. That was fun. Most of what I've been doing since I got here has been off camera, and it's a lot of like, I'm gonna do every quest because I want to experience stuff. Because people told me that the flying mechanic in these new zones is per zone and linked to exploration and questing. So I'm like, all right,
yes,
I'll off screen. I will do some of that stuff that needs to get done because most of the quests that aren't story related truly are like, go plant these flowers They're not important.
There's a handful that are probably important, but when I say important, there's a handful that flesh out other characters, but yeah. Sure.
But nothing in a way that like is, if you miss it on a stream, it's detrimental. That's kind of what I'm like. I was like, I don't want to play the main story and not do it on stream kind of thing, but most of what I was doing, so I was in the first zone, the snowy one. Can't remember the name of it right now.
Yeah, it's still called Quarthus, but it's like the. I mean, I could just open up the thing here. It is called the Quarthus Western Highlands is where you were.
Yeah, the Western Highlands. So I went there, and I started to do a bunch of the different quests, and got to a point where I had also explored and gotten every single one of the wind
flying
thingies,
nodes,
the
aether nodes, or whatever.
Yeah, I got every single one of those, and then I got them all through quests, and so I unlocked flying in that zone and was like, whoa, so this is great. So I can fly in this zone now, which I love. So then I went around and I did fates and things and goofed around and got stuff for the yokai event and did a lot of that.
Yeah.
And then I was like, well, you know what? I'm going to go to I had help on stream.
Okay.
With the what is that? The floating island zone, whatever that one's called.
The Sea of Clouds.
I'd help with that one, getting the exploration one.
Yeah.
So I was flown around and I got that. So I just had to do the quests, and I was like, okay, I'll go back there. I'll do the quests in that area. I did every quest that was available. None of them gave me anything that was related to.
Those are marked. Those are marked in later expansions. They should be marked in this expansion if they give a
I clearly haven't unlocked the right area via the story yet for that place.
Oh, okay.
Because there's only so many places I can go right now, so it clearly means there's something I'm missing.
Yeah.
So I can't do it there. But then I came back and I went to the Chocobo Forest again and was like, all right, I'm going to explore some more. And I probably shouldn't have, because I immediately was like, oh, this is like spoilers. Well, I found a bunch of stuff that I was like, I have had since I got, for the most part, since I got to this expansion, I've had the thought process that because they gave us a cutscene where the Ascians were talking to like old elf pope, I was like, oh, I don't trust old elf pope. I don't trust none of these people. So when we showed up here and they were just like, we're good, and we're with the Dravanians, they're just unstoppable killing machines. They won't listen to reason. I was like, oh, this is gonna turn into some Dances with Wolves shit. Or this is gonna be like Avatar, where we join with the native metaphor to fight against the imperial metaphor. I was like, I know what's happening. And so I don't know how right I am in that, but I know that we met with Lady Iceheart and we were like, let's talk with the dragons. And I was like, I bet the dragons are going to be like, we aren't the evil ones.
Do you mean the dragons yet? Beside Midgard some more?
I met, no, I met with Lady Iceheart. Lady Iceheart was like, meet me in this forest. And I was like, okay. So that's where I stopped last time on stream.
Gotcha.
And when I was there, I started to explore, and I have one last exploration node to find. I gave up trying to find it because I got to an area where I literally went up a like giant spiral stairs in an old temple castle thing.
Oh, I know. Yeah.
At the very, very top, I was like, oh, that's a friendly dragon. It was like, no, I'm out. Left. I was like, I don't want to spoil myself.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, I know exactly. I know exactly where you were. Yep.
And then, so I stopped messing around with that kind of stuff and decided to do things like the Rising event. I did that, which I loved. I thought that was super cute.
Yeah, I still need to actually do that. It's pretty quick, but the Rising event's kind of cool because it's basically just like the creator of the game or the game director like talking to the community and saying like, hey, thanks for playing the game.
Pretty much, yeah. And this, I don't know if it's different every year, but it was literally just a bunch of little potatoes joining him and coming out to thank you. And I was like, yes!
Yeah.
It was very cute.
And they played the cool music.
Fest.
They played the good music.
Yes, it was very nice.
Yeah.
And then I went and I decided that because I want my retainers to all be different classes, because I'm a crazy person, I have 2 retainers for some reason. One of them is Black Mage, which I got to 50, so I'm like, cool. But because I guess it's only a Realm Reborn classes or jobs.
No.
I had nothing else.
Well, you might have to get to the other expansions to unlock them. I also think that you have to get the retainer to... Oh, what you're experiencing is the retainers have to be a certain level till they can take on an actual job. So you're probably getting like Lancer and...
Yes, yeah. So
whatever the other ones
in order to get them up, I've taken on leveling Lancer off stream. And so
Right. Oh God, welcome to Final Fantasy 14, Jesse.
It got me. I was like, here I am. This is me. So here's little JC the Lancer.
Yeah.
Level 11, doing my thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. I have a problem now. So I've been doing this only for a day. Literally, I ran around yesterday a bunch late at night when I was like, I don't want to stream. I just want to play. And so I just leveled up Lancer, and this is what I've been doing.
You got that full thrust yet? Are you full thrusting?
Well, I mean, I'm Vorpal thrusting, if that's a thing.
Full thrust that's the winner. That's the big damage dealer.
I have leg sweep.
That's the stun.
I literally only have 4 abilities at the moment. Yeah, maybe 5. I have a heal.
What gear do I have on my dragoon? Oh, I have this, but I don't know.
Well, yeah, that's dragoon gear, I think.
There you go.
Yeah, I went around and I decided that I was going to get every single job, class, everything from the original game. And so I now have outfits for everything.
Yep.
I even have
Yep.
I guess original game is not what I think original zones.
Yeah.
So I don't have anything from this city. But for like Ul'dah or Gridania, like those places I went and got everything. So I even have like a samurai. I got my little samurai outfit.
Yep. You're using your yokai blade there, I think.
I know. I'm so happy I got a yokai blade.
Samurai's got some cool transmog.
Yes, I'm very excited to goof around with it, but in the time I did goof around with it, it's a lot. There's a lot to learn, so I'm like,
there's a lot of
I'm
buttons
good.
For sure. Yeah.
Yeah, but however, much of it apparently I could just use without even being in combat, and I look dope. I can just click buttons and like, yo!
So you can also, I'm sure you know this, but you can type /C pose, and that'll change your different idle stances for every class. I think it's every class. Maybe you have to have your weapon drawn, and then it'll idle back.
/C pose?
Yeah.
Yo! Neat.
Yeah. There's a lot of that. I'm trying to think story-wise. So you done the first dungeon. You met Estinian, old Estinian.
Yeah. Oh yeah, the Dragoon guy. Yes.
Yeah. Have you done much more with him?
He is with me on my adventure into the Chocobo Forest.
Okay.
It's me, him, Alfie. Tataru, of course, stayed behind to drink at the bar. I'm convinced she's like, no, I'll be at the bar looking for information. Like, yeah,
Oh,
you
man.
will. All right, Tataru, you drunk.
She things get interesting in a Jesse Cox kind of way for her and Stormblood.
Ew, okay. Exciting.
is what I'll say for that. I guess.
Okay.
Yeah, I've been in the Stormblood zones recently because I've been leveling crafters. So I'm much in that type of mindset and kind of remembering everything, as I haven't been in those zones for quite some time. But yeah, it's
I got kind of
exciting.
spoiled. Not about those zones, but about this one we're in right now.
Really?
In that I went to the Final Fantasy 14 English page.
Okay.
And I guess there's like you can rebuild the city is part of a thing.
Yeah, so that's actually with Shadowbringers.
Yeah, that's what I was told. And I was like, oh,
Well,
so what
like-
worse happens to this city between now and then?
Well,
I'm like,
it's-
oh no.
it's actually like it's not main content. It's not main story content. If you hit map, you see the broom in the bottom right.
In the bottom right, I do not. I don't think I have it unlocked yet.
Oh, if you just come hither, Jesse Cox. We just walk over there real quick.
Broom in the bottom right?
Yeah, over here.
No, I don't see it.
You can grab. Well, the broom is the name of the place, not like a broom. Like the Brume. I don't. Maybe I'm saying it not French. This whole place is like.
Oh! You mean the actual? Sorry, I think you meant like a broom, like a broom.
No.
Oh, I thought. Yeah, I was like, what
Yeah.
are you talking about? Like a broom?
No.
Like a symbol broom?
This is what this is. This is the Ishgardian restoration, essentially.
Yeah.
So it's actually
So-
something I just got into. It's crafter only, but it's a way to kind of like, basically once you get all your crafters to like around level 20, I've been told you can take your gatherers in there, which I have not done yet. I might be doing it tonight or tomorrow. And it spawns you into kind of a, you haven't played or seen it yet, but it spawns you into a crafting only zone. And the only thing you can do there is like gather resources. And then you take all of those
Neat, though.
resources and like kind of boost all of your crafters essentially.
That is super neat. I would love that to be a thing.
Yeah.
So wait, do you see something different than what I see then?
I don't know. What do you see? I see like kind of a shithole right here.
Sure. So do I. I'm curious if
Well,
what the final restoration will look like. Does that
I don't
make
know if
sense?
it's done. Yeah, I don't know if it's done yet. I do know that they've talked about having a housing zone. So there's no housing yet for Ishgard. There's housing for Stormblood.
Yeah.
But there's no housing yet in Ishgard. So I think maybe when this is done, you should have a quest right here to unlock it. You might have to be 60 though to see it.
He says, nope, restricted, bro.
Yeah. So I think once it's done, they might actually open up Ishgard housing. If that's the case, I'm sure the FC will move our house there because we did that
Neat.
when Stormblood came out. But yeah, it's stuff that I'm still learning. That's been my addiction. I kind of stopped leveling all the like fighting classes or whatever you want to call them, and I'm focusing on all the disciples of the hand and disciples of the land because I'm a fiend, and so I have to get all those to max level. I saw you were
have been
fishing the other
doing
day.
same.
I saw you were.
I know.
You were doing some
I know.
fishing.
I keep discovering new things. I'm like, I'll try this and I'll do this.
Hey, there's nothing wrong with that. What? How much fishing did you do?
Not much. I only got to level 5, and I was like, all right, cool, and that was it. I don't want to dive too deep into those things, but I unlocked all of them.
Yeah.
So I have everything in case I need it or want it. The reason why, again, was because I was like, thing with my retainers that gets them to bring me the good stuff.
So
I don't know what that is.
That's also so. The big thing with retainers that I learned, I didn't use them ever for 5 or 6, however long I've been playing this game, 7 years or whatever. And with the most recent update to like the Moogle store, the Mog station, whatever that's called, where you like actually go in and type in all of your subscription stuff.
Sure.
On that store, there are books to level up your retainers to level 70. So
Interesting, but they can only. But it's one of those things where, like,
you have to
if
be
you've been
that
playing
level.
this game, yeah, if you've been playing this game for a long time, then it'd probably be like it's probably all right, worth it. But if
Right.
you're like me, it makes literally no
It makes
sense
no
to do that
sense
because
whatsoever,
none of them
yeah.
would. Yeah, right.
But for me, a person who has 7 retainers and hasn't done anything with them except use them for storage, I bought 7 level up things, and now I have 7 retainers constantly doing missions, and I'm actually like, for probably the first time ever in this game, actively making money, which has been kind of
Amazing.
nice.
Yeah.
It's been kind of nice. It's why I started crafting, because I was like, wait a minute, I'm actually making money here. I can actually do something that costs money, like crafting. So yeah, it's been fun kind of doing all the retainer stuff and crafting, because I have however many hours, 1,000 or 1,500 hours in the game, and I've never touched it before. And here I am, like a full-on crafter. I'm enjoying it. I'm going to try to push to max all of them out. But yeah, I don't know. Story stuff we didn't really get to too much. I'm trying to think. Estinian's cool. I like him. You're going to be a big fan of him, I'm thinking.
Yeah, I mean, the story stuff that happened that I think is spoilery, that is probably like the hey, we should move after this, is literally I was not when we were like in the sewers, and like when all the scions were like, we're all super dead, when it literally hints that they maybe died, I was like, nah, these people are fine. Convinced of it, not even worried. Not even Pimpalimo, fine. Not even worried. All them, not even worried. I don't. The reason why I said I don't know about Nanamo is because literally the game's like, she could be alive. It was all a trick, and I'm like, what? So I have no clue what the hell's about to happen. But yeah, the one thing, like once that plot ended, the one thing that I'm very certain, I'm certain of nothing now, because I haven't played too much into this expansion to know all the story details yet. But I'm very certain that old elf pope is 100% a baddie. I don't care what anyone says.
Okay.
You can't convince me otherwise. Baddie.
There was something that I'm not going to tell you specifically that you said, but for people watching, Jesse made an offhand comment in one of his final moments in 2.55 on his stream, which I recommend going and watching. And if you're finished with the story, man, Jesse Cox pulled a Jesse Cox. And
ending to the like entire series?
No. If you finish the story, you can go back and watch that and know what Jesse said, to where you made like the Final Fantasy 14 subreddit. You were like the top clip on there from that thing.
Really?
Yeah.
What did I say? Wait a minute. What?
In a good way. This is all positive, nothing negative whatsoever.
I have no idea what I said that would have been worthy of that, but awesome. Very neat.
You said it, and there was a string of tweets that all happened from kind of like a niche part of Final Fantasy 14 Twitter that I follow, and everyone freaked out.
But I don't wait. All right. Do you know when exactly it was?
No, I'm not gonna tell you at all.
It. All right, you're right. Don't spoil it for me.
Don't spoil it for me.
I'm always excited when I like guess a thing early, and it always makes me happy. So I'm like, oh,
here's the funniest.
Did I get it?
Here's the funniest part about all of it. That night when it happened, I was so like flabbergasted that I messaged Dodger and was just like, dude, Jesse just said XYZ. This is fucking ridiculous. And she goes, wait a minute. You just spoiled it for me. I haven't finished the story. So because of
What?
your stream. I messaged Brooke. It was like, blah, 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 blah. And she goes, wait, what? And then I just didn't talk to her for 4 days until she finished the story. And then when she did, I was like, yeah, sorry about that. I didn't want to confirm or deny what she said. But yeah.
Oh, man.
It was crazy.
Look, I'm thrilled. Trying to think of what it could be. I have no clue. I was just rattling off things. I
think it was just one of those things where you're just rattling it off, and everyone was just like, "What? Like really?"
Yeah. I don't remember. I literally don't remember what I said at that moment.
It was good. If we keep this up, oh God,
you got to dig that. I'll have to save all these videos on Twitch forever. Then
90 episodes from now, or however long it takes you to get to the end of Shadowbringers. I will play back, because I know exactly when it happened and where it happened. I will play back the spot for sure.
Yeah. Wow. Okay. Cool. I have no idea. I literally have no idea what I could have possibly said.
Yeah.
But I feel like there's a lot in this game that is. It seems like there's a lot that's well thought out, and so I can see how a hint of something but there is no mystery to me predicting things when I predict plots in games. Literally, it's just I have been doing this so long, and now that I write stuff for games and do things for games and review scripts and all sorts of crazy shit, I just know how things are done. And I'm like, oh, well, if this is included, there is a reason this is included, right?
Yeah.
And so it ruins stuff for me sometimes, but it also is fun to be like, so they're saying this because that's definitely going to be a thing. And so I can just see the matrix code of games sometimes.
Sometimes it happens. Yeah.
And sometimes I'm like, oh yeah. And I feel like it's less that I probably solved a thing or figured it out, and more that they dropped a big hint. And I was like, oh, I picked up on it. So I don't know. Maybe that's what happened.
Yeah. Well, it's the reason that it's crazy is because you did something that happened literally 7 years later in the story.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah. Again, we'll talk about 90 episodes from now or however many, but it was definitely the type of thing where everyone was kind of like, come on. He either had to know this shit or looked it up ahead of time. It's not necessarily a giant spoiler. So you didn't solve the fucking, crux of the story, but it was just the type of thing where you wow. Anyways. How you liking the new, we got new voice actors when we swapped over to Heavensward. Are you seeing the money is maybe how I would say this? Are you seeing that the game actually got some funding in this expansion?
Yeah, it feels like there's a polish to it and a direction. You can tell they kind of know where they're going with this story. It's always been a thing that I love in games. That is also something I think, I don't know, I guess I'm possibly the outlier in the gaming world, because a lot of people like vast openness, and I'm not saying that's not the case here, but they, there's this huge thing where they like doing stuff that's sort of whatever I want, and then we I want things to be focused. So a great example is Witcher 3. The main Witcher 3 story, the main Witcher 3 game is fun. Yeah. It's clearly one of the best games made. But the first expansion, the Hearts of Stone expansion,
that was focused,
is so focused and so cool, and the story is incredible. It feels like this, where I'm in a story and the story is hyper focused. There's only so many characters, and every character kind of has a point and is doing a thing, and we're introduced to this world, and we get an actual story that we're on this adventure for. And it branches off from where we were and goes back to it every now and again.
Sure.
But at the same time, it pushes us forward to something new, and I love everything about that. I love what they're doing, so I'm vibing with this expansion a lot.
Okay, cool. Yeah, for a lot of people, Heavensward is up there, kind of behind Shadowbringers, with Stormblood being in third, with A Realm Reborn in the far distant fourth place in terms of ranking. So I'm excited for you to move forward in it.
I will say that I, at some point in my life, have seen the trailer for Stormblood.
Okay.
I don't remember where.
It's not spoilery at all, so if you've seen that,
No,
it's not a big deal.
but I also remember it being like, boy, that seems like a lot. Like I don't know that I understood what was happening, but I remember being like, this seems like an awful lot of stuff. Right? Because it like took you to different locations. I think that was the point of it.
Yeah, sure. I'm trying to
do
you remember what you saw?
I know that there was people fighting on a big stone statue at one point.
Okay, yeah.
And then Japan is what happened.
Yeah.
And now you know what? It was I think it was supposed to be Doma. I think maybe I don't know.
Okay, gotcha.
But I remember the end of it was the like big reveal of the city,
right?
And it like showed a map, like the world, right? And so that's clearly I know that like if I press map right now, people who are like he knows things, he's been spoiled. Like I know some things. Like clearly, if I in chat, like I've mentioned this before, like I've seen trailers in the past, but like I don't remember 90% of it. What I do know is that I have seen maps of the 14 world, and the 14 world's much bigger than the map I have access to.
Sure.
So that's why I was like, oh, when are we going to go to the Empire? Like that kind of thing. I keep asking that question, and everyone is very evasive with me.
Sure.
But I feel like that has to happen at some point. They're always present, except in this expansion. But okay, whatever. Ride with you. How do I? Oh my god.
Yeah. This is.
Where am I at? Oh, I'm in the back.
Yeah.
Do I not get to ride up front?
No. You might. I don't. Was there 4 seats? I don't know if there are multiple seats in this.
There are 4 seats. Yeah, I think there's 1 facing backwards, 2 facing front, and then you up front. Interesting.
Here, see if there's one up front. I don't know if there is. This is the new store-bought mount. This thing costs $34, and I'm a sucker.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true. Let me see. There's yeah, I think it literally is 1 rides backwards and the other 2. I'm gonna go seat 3.
Oh, there you go.
Oh, look. One is I look out the side. Oh, it's very cute.
It's beautiful.
Also, I'm pretty sure except for the one facing backwards, I'm pretty sure that's just, what's his face from Final Fantasy 15's pose.
Oh, they use the same pose as the car, as Prompto?
I think so for that one, yeah.
Well, kind of. Like your legs are crossed. I think in the car you're like hunched over underneath. I don't know. We're getting into weird territory.
Yeah, I guess you're right. I guess they changed it a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, so this area, there's definitely seen some things like the dragon up here.
Do you have this right here? Do you have this little thing?
Do I have what?
Oh, you already got this thing? I don't even have this little sightseeing node here. You might actually not have sightseeing nodes unlocked until you hit max level.
I don't have sightseeing nodes. I was in a
that's
fate
another
the other
thing
day.
that they just like put out there, and you haven't seen it yet. Like there's so much to this game, it's absurd.
Yeah, I was in a fate, and there was an area that looked very, very beautiful, and some guy in the group was like, dude, you got this sightseeing node? And I was like, what? He's like, right here, pick it up. And I'm like, I don't see anything. And he's like, right here. I'm like, I don't see it. I don't know what you want me to do.
Yeah. There's a lot. I don't even know if you've seen. Oh, this was the dungeon.
Yeah, this is the dungeon I went in. This
See
was
the
cool.
giant
this
claw marks and shit right there. It's pretty cool.
Fought the
hippogriff
griffin inside. Yeah.
Is it a hippogriff? No, it's a griffin. I think you're right. It's griffin.
It's straight up a griffin.
Yeah. Trying to think. Yeah, the name of that was Dusk Vigil. So you've been to the Sea of Clouds. What do you think about these zones? I think the size of these zones compared to the rest of the game are like staggering. You start to see just how massive these things can get.
What I love about this is I never played the original 1.0.
Yeah.
Not once. Didn't even touch it. I love that apparently this was a zone in that, and they completely redid it, and didn't just completely redo it. They just made it because they're like, the calamity caused this to happen, and here's all these different reasons and things, and like story elements added, but they leave little hints of what the world used to be like. The crystals in certain areas are like the old version of the ether crystals that you can click on. There's like so many neat things, and I was like, y'all, this is cool as shit. I love that they did this.
Yeah. The other thing, as you progress through the expansions, the limitations of hardware that they start to remove in the sense of old consoles starts to become very like aware. I think Stormblood, they removed PS3 support, or maybe Shadowbringers, they removed PS3 support. And so they were able to push more because they didn't have to use it on like a fucking super old console.
So is Shadowbringers, are they updated? I don't want to say sprites. That's not the right word.
They're just different things. They can do more. They can put more in the engine without kind of like essentially the consoles bottleneck what they can do in the game, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And so eventually with like the PS5 coming out, one day the PS4 will be removed, most likely during 7.0, which is 2 expansions from now. That'll be a pretty crazy day. Like they might even do, hopefully my hope is a full on like graphics rehaul by then, but who knows? Who knows?
Well, I think, knowing how WoW did theirs, once you see the difference, like going back to play classic WoW, I was like, ooh, I cannot do this.
It looks a little rough.
I was like, no, thank you.
Yeah. That was the tower I think you climbed over there, yeah. On the right.
Not that one, no.
Oh,
it's
okay.
that big daddy in front of us.
Yeah, over here.
Yeah.
Okay. There's a lot going on in this zone. I'm excited for you to get to the next zone.
I ran around on those mountains behind you, trying to find the wind thing, and I literally could not. It's in a cave somewhere, and I was like, I just can't find it. So
hit the button. Let's see where it's at.
I can't because you're driving. It is 475 yalms to the west.
Okay, I think I know where it's at.
So it's like in the caves somewhere.
This place, when I was leveling, it just sucked. This place was so annoying to get through. I think I got
one of the people I follow on Twitter was like, so I've been climbing this mountain, day 4. And I'm like, I know where you're at.
Yeah. Trying to remember where the path. It's actually
That's what I'm saying. This place is so confusing.
I
was like, this is a trap.
I think there's a big opening this way. Some of the
I ended up going all the way to the top, and I was like, oh, cool. Well, I know this exists.
Yeah.
But it wasn't challenging because everything here is 53-ish. So now that I'm 57, I'm not too intimidated by it. But it was like, come on, stop aggroing me. Come on.
Think you got to go in here, and then this takes you
in the cave.
Yeah, and this takes you to the back into a zone, which maybe we'll just walk into. Yeah, but it's right at the zone wall, I think. Yeah.
Oh, it's right there. It's right beneath us.
Oh, right here on the bridge?
No, like a little back, but on the rock. Yeah. What? That. Right. Look at that. Right next to the fire sprite. Literally right there. Yo! I did it! Live in front of you. I think, is that the last one?
It might be.
In this entire zone?
Did you get flying?
Yeah. All that's left is the questing ones. Yo,
oh, nice. There you go. Yeah, I'm curious if you're actually locked to... I know one of the zones, you're definitely going to be story locked.
I think I'm story locked to a lot of them because there's what the shit. Oh, you spoiling me.
Well, this
my eyes are closed. This is
not really spoilers.
I'm not even looking.
This is not really spoilers.
I'm not looking. Not even looking.
Is there anything? Zoom in real quick. Does it say entrance right here? Because then you definitely can't get to the next zone.
Not even looking.
What if we just do this? What happens if we just walk around?
Not looking. I'm not looking.
All right, I'm trying to get out. I got to get out of here. We're flying out of here.
My eyes are closed. My eyes are closed and I'm looking away.
I want to take you to the next zone for 5 seconds, but we can't get through. That is story locked. So they straight up, yeah. You actually can't see the next zone until you progress there for story purposes, which probably good. Probably stops me from spoiling you for stuff. We're out of that room if you want to open your eyes.
Okay, I don't know. I almost didn't trust you. I'm gonna let you know. I do like that slight eye open because I almost didn't trust you.
Does this get me out of here? I forgot. These caves are a nightmare. I get lost in these caves still, years after the fact. Is that a rare mob? What is that? Oh yeah, Lord of the Wyverns, level 60. I think that's a B rank hunt or whatever. Or A rank.
Yeah, I've been doing hunts, and there's so many things that I've been doing that are not main story things.
Oh yeah.
Because I want to try and save it all for stream. So what I end up doing is discovering all the other things the game has to offer, and then
totally
just like hanging out and like, do you want to run this dungeon? I'm like, okay, I'll do it.
You started fishing. Did you know there's ocean fishing in this game?
Yes, I got to where the boat was, but it said the boat already went out, and I was like, I don't got time to wait.
Yeah, it's every 2 hours the boat shows up. I have not been ocean fishing yet in the game.
It reminds me of back in Final Fantasy. I don't know if this is
Final
accurate.
Fantasy 11. It's Final Fantasy 11.
Okay,
fishing.
yes,
It's
all right,
exactly
yes.
that. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
I was about to say, like, I don't remember if I'm just crazy and making this up, but yes, I did it all the time in Final Fantasy 11. Yes.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is.
Cool.
And there's like a little competition on that boat. In terms of who can like catch the most or whatever.
Can I assume you can also fish up like, weird crabs or things that attack you?
I haven't done it yet. I would hope so. That was always the best part of going on those boats is a low level in Final Fantasy 11.
Yeah.
Is when some asshole would fish up like a water or a thunder elemental or a jellyfish and just destroy everyone on the boat.
Yes.
And you're just like, God damn it, this asshole. What is he doing? Yeah. That was the best part.
Every time. Yeah, that was always a trip. Yes.
We needed to go ocean fishing for sure. I think that's something we should maybe do an episode on, and we'll just call it we'll just rip off Krender's fishing show and WoW.
We'll just call it Fishing with Krendor and just talk about Krendor.
There you go. Yeah, we'll just actually call it Fishing with Krendor for that episode.
I one of the things I love about this so far is that every time I enter a new zone, there's always something immediately familiar. And I don't know if that's comforting or if, and it's not like, oh, that's a reused asset. It's literally like, oh, I remember this enemy from Final Fantasy whatever.
So,
or I remember, and it's something that I think only Final Fantasy can get away with without it being something where you're like, this again?
Totally.
Right? It's so weird, but every time I'm like, oh, I remember killing these guys in Final Fantasy 6 in that cave, and like, oh, I remember doing this in Final Fantasy 12.
That doesn't stop.
So weird.
Like, in a lot of ways, Final Fantasy 14, and this isn't something unique to me, but in a lot of ways, Final Fantasy 14 is like a Final Fantasy greatest hits. There is so much stuff in this game that is just like, hey, do you remember this mob? Hey, do you remember this boss? Hey, remember this song? Hey, do you remember this thing? Hey, this is a reference to that. This is a reference to that. Have you seen this yet? Like just all that type of stuff.
It reminds me when I was on stream and I got the Gale Cat.
Yeah.
I was laughing because I was like, it's so cute. It's ridiculous that these are enemies. And everyone was like, dude, there were enemies in Final Fantasy 6. I was like, no way.
Yep.
No way were there cute cats. And I went and looked at this, like, the sprites are a little more threatening than in this game.
Than the Gelkins, yeah.
But it's as I choked to death.
Jesse's dead.
It's super cute. Like it's actually very. Have you ever choked on your own tongue? That just happened there.
No.
So you're welcome, Internet.
Impressive.
I almost died for you.
That's impressive. You gotta drink your water. You gotta take some sips.
You know what? You right. You right.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm trying to think if there's anything coming up that I should. Not really. If you're in this zone, do you know what level the quests are that you're currently doing? What level's your main quest? Let's go there.
My main quest right now. Ooh, actually, I think it was Final Fantasy 5 was the Gale Cat. But you know what? It could have been 6 too, because who knows?
Who knows?
Who knows? Really, it's all the same.
Someone in the comments will correct us.
They will let us know which one it is.
Yeah.
I am currently on. I literally only have 4 quests at the moment. I have the greatest story never told because I'm trying to do that, like, do the quest where they don't tell you anything and you have to find a treasure.
Right.
So that one's on my quest list. I'll figure that out whenever the hell I figure it out.
Okay.
I have Rise and Fall of Gentlemen, which I need to do eventually.
That's a YouTube thing for you.
Yeah, I need to go do Extreme Shiva, which I was like, oh no.
Okay.
And then I have Where the Chocobos Roam. It's a level 52 quest.
52. Okay. So
I feel like I've got a long way to go. I'm not even like concerned about getting to the end.
You have a very long way. That's not what I was asking. I just know that I know how the expansions are structured, and once you get through one, you will understand. Basically, like, there are some cool fights coming up pretty soon for you, I guess is what we'll say, with maybe one of my favorite songs in the game. And so hopefully by the time we record the next one of these, you may or may not have heard that song. I also think for the next one, if you're level 60 on your red mage by then, which you might be, have you heard of treasure maps? Do you know what treasure maps are?
I don't know why I know them. I don't know if at some point maybe I got a thing about it. I don't know. Yes, okay. I am aware they exist. I don't know how I know. I'm not sure that I maybe an NPC was like, "Hey, bro." I don't know. Or maybe someone in chat mentioned it. I don't know.
Okay, we might do a treasure map run just so you can kind of see some more nonsense that exists in this game that is just redonkulous. It's just ridiculous. It's essentially like a game show, and you fight mobs, and there's a chance that it continues going, and then there's a chance that it continues going 8 times, and then you get some really cool stuff from it.
Okay, all right, sure.
It's super RNG, but it's a good, like, fun, simple thing to do, which is just cool to see. So maybe we'll do that for the next episode if you hit 60 by then, but if not, then we'll save it for another one.
Can I ask really quickly?
Go ahead.
As I look around, how many zones are there in this expansion?
Let me pull up my map and I'll tell you. Because
so far I've been to two repeatedly back and forth. I've gone back to old zones.
Yeah.
And it's been like, we gotta go to this old dungeon, right? Except it's instance and it's a new thing. And then here. And so far I've only seen 3 zones so far. I'm curious what the overall number is, so I kind of have an idea of where I'm at.
I believe there's 6.
Okay. So, yeah, all right, that makes sense, because somewhere in the background, I don't know if I can see it. Oh, yeah, up there, that giant floating crystal mountain thing over there. I feel like that's a thing.
That is most certainly a thing.
Yeah, all right, so I feel like that's a thing that, all right, yeah. I'm trying. You don't got to say nothing. I'm just, all right. So there's 6 total.
There's 6
which
total.
is fine by me.
The next zone that you go to, once you finish this zone, let's say this, the next zone you go to, also one of my favorite in the game.
Interesting. Cool. All right.
They do a lot because this was the first expansion with flying in it. They make the zones massive, and they also do cool things with, like, floating islands, which you saw a little bit of if you were in that other zone that we have not been to, at least on stream.
Yeah, I love that zone. Everyone was like, Jesse's getting spoiled. I'm like, nah, you're not spoiling me by, like, seeing land masses. That's not... When JP hypes up if I go through this cave, it's going to blow your... I'm like, nope. I don't want mind blown.
It wasn't going to blow your mind. It was just... we shouldn't have done that. Yeah. So
yeah, no, I don't know what's in there. Now you got me questioning everything I say, because I'm gonna end up on Reddit and people are gonna be like, this guy, he is a prophet, and then I'll have to open a church, and then I'll be the end of me. I won't have time for video games.
Don't stop doing that. You gotta make your wild claims. That's half the fun, for sure.
Oh boy.
Yeah, I think we'll call it a thing, whatever these are. We still don't have graphics for this yet. Honestly, I think I went to the person that usually does my graphics, I went to them and said, hey, we would like you to make a original character art with this short thing and this short thing, but also make it look like me and Jesse Cox. And they just responded, what? So we might have to, I might enlist some OC drawers, some artists.
I'm just saying, if there's anyone out there who wants to make little JC fan art, I am down to accept it
by all means
at all times.
Yeah, for sure. The Final Fantasy 14 community is actually, that's like a big deal, is to have artists draw your character. In fact, on the subreddit, that's actually a large portion of the content there, is you get like these super crazy like anime drawings of mostly female characters. In your mind,
well, I only accept Sweetie Boy little JCs.
There you go.
I don't accept attractive, I don't know, cat people and or bunny people. Only Sweetie Boy little JCs.
Okay. There you go. If you're an artist and you want to have some fun,
make Sweetie Boys, little
tweet that stuff at
potatoes.
Yeah, tweet that stuff at us. Jesse Cox and itmeJP on Twitter. Yeah, I think we're good there. Like I said, I'm addicted to crafting. That's kind of where my brain's been at. We've got, in terms of updates for the games, there's a big relic. Relics are like the weapons. That's probably the next big update patch coming. So once we get to that, I'll probably be grinding that, and we'll see where we go from there. But I'm glad that you seem to be in it. You seem to be sticking with it.
Yeah, I'm having a good time. I'm enjoying myself. The community is great. Everyone's really nice. And so far, again, we'll see what the end, and one day when I get there, we'll see what end game is like. That's always how you can tell what a community's really like, when people are like, you have incorrect builds, and like that kind of thing, where it's like, oh boy, here we go.
That always will exist, but I will say the people in the FC are very good about like not being assholes about that stuff, for sure.
That's And so far,
to be fair, like,
so good.
The Square's actually a little bit on the offensive with that. Like, they've actually gone as far as, this is getting a little controversial and maybe not the best place to talk about this, but they've actually gone as far as banning Twitch streamers that are toxic to people in their groups without ever actually saying anything in game, but commenting on their actual stream. And then they ban them from the game. So don't talk shit about people on your stream, Jesse.
I can't. I'm the worst one every time.
There you go.
I'm the one bringing the group down.
Yeah, that's my excuse as well. Exactly. Just keep doing that and you should be fine. You should be fine. So thanks everyone for watching here. Forward and back again. I can't wait till you actually... I'll say this, Jesse Cox, when you finish this expansion, you will be able to understand what the title of this podcast is and why it means something in this world.
Okay, all right. I mean,
so
does it relate to the fact that so far I've gone back and forth between old and new content like 80 times this expansion?
Yes and no. All right, forward and back again. Forward and back again, a Coxtail. Thanks everyone for watching. We're out of here. We'll see you next time.
Bye.